What I think would have been the most difficult character you've ever played is play yourself, live inside a house for 3 weeks while the whole world is looking at you.
Yeah.
And you can't look at the world back, obviously.
Yeah.
What did you make of Big Brother? You were there for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
You ultimately, you went on to win that show.
Yeah.
This is 2007 when, I don't even think Big Boss was here by then.
No.
It was before Indians knew about Big Boss. So it was a completely new thing for you. What was that like in terms of what did it do to you as a person?
No, I think Big Boss did play.
I think the first one had
just
started.
the first season.
Right. Because you hosted the second one.
I did. I hadn't watched the show, just like you. So I had no inkling of what I was getting myself into. But I think my career was going through a lull, and so was I personally. And when they offered me the money that they did, and they said, you know what, you just have to play yourself. I didn't have the idea of why they wanted me, but then I realized after I came out of the house that there's such a huge Indian diaspora abroad, that they were catering to those audiences.
And you were the only foreigner in that house, am I right?
Yes.
Right.
I felt like an alien. Yeah, so because there's so many preconceived notions about Indians, and that was the first time that I had ever been to a foreign country alone and was just left to fend for myself on my own. I've always otherwise had family, or my mom, my sister, staff. You always walk around with an entourage. You're used to that. And here I was like a glorified maid in that house. Like, I was cooking, I was cleaning because nobody was interested, and I was like, खुद ही बनाओ नहीं तो हम लोग ही भूखे मर जाएंगे. And everybody would be like complaining, you're cooking, but it's a thankless job. And
because the chicken wasn't cooked well.
Listen, that chicken, I'm human, that one piece of chicken that was not cooked. So you shouldn't have eaten it. I was like, why are you eating it? But anyway, and then they talked about how I was eating with my hands and bitched me out like, so I had luckily for me, see, like you said, you have no idea of how people are perceiving you, what is being talked about you. So suddenly in the second week, I saw helicopters swarming around the house and the shutters were coming down, and the scale on which they were shooting it was really huge. The London one is really hard.
Is it many times over the 1 year in Lonavala?
Much more stricter, because I remember that if we didn't do a task, we were not given our ration. Which is why that whole hue and cry about the OXO cube, क्योंकि 3 आए थे, and I wanted to challa it for like a week and a half, and they put like 2 cubes into one thing. I was like, who cooks like that, So you literally feel like, your life is on tenterhooks, and I think I'm the sort of person who takes everything very seriously in life, and that's me as a personality. If I'm doing something, I'll give it 100%. So it was, it was a scary, really strengthening, really life-altering experience, if I have to put it in 3 words.
What did it teach you? Now it's like 10 years. I'm sure you can look at it a little more objectively.
Firstly, it makes you brain dead. Because
really?
3.5 weeks, by the way, I was in, not just 3 weeks. And every week I thought I was going to get eliminated because I didn't want to be here. I was like, please get me eliminated. Then around I think around a fortnight later, I realized something happening here. I was being treated a little badly, but I never put it down to racism. I just felt like, the girls were insecure, and how girls can behave. Very petty. And
was this girl shaming? The guys were also pretty screwed up, no?
Yeah, but I had no idea what they were saying behind me.
Okay.
So I was living in this bubble. I'm still living, I feel, under some rock. I have no idea what is happening outside, and it's the best way to be. So I don't care. Apna karam karo, move on. And I think we Indians are far more tolerant also. And especially me, I'm like, I don't care. I have to get out of this house. I'm getting paid really well. Let me just get out of here,
So were the others in the house, were they losers in a real sense? I don't mean losers in any other way, but were they? No, I didn't know why, because I was going through Wikipedia. None of them even have a Wikipedia page, which is really odd for a whole bunch of people in a...
No, Jermaine Jackson had a Wikipedia.
Okay, Jermaine Jackson, yes.
Ian Watson also had.
A whole lot of others. I'm like, they don't have a Wikipedia.
Ian was part of this huge band, Watkins.
I'm talking about the entire lot. Were they
Jade Goody was the biggest star. God bless her soul also.
That racism route became huge. I mean, it was picked up in the Parliament, British Parliament. The Chancellor Exchequer came to India. He spoke about it. That show, that particular, I don't know how many people know this, but it's got the maximum number of registered complaints by public in the history of British television. Second highest. I think Jerry Springer is one episode of Jerry Springer that got lots. Like, what was it like living through that?
Honestly, after I came out, and they first took me to a psychiatrist. They thought I was mentally scarred. The amount that I went through. The only thing that I remember vividly, because it was a long time ago, was that I couldn't use my phone when I came out of the house. Because we didn't have a phone, we had no reading material, writing material. See, you really, when I said brain dead, like I couldn't type a message on my phone. I'd forgotten how to use my phone. And that really scared me. I was like, oh my God, am I losing my senses? Has something happened to me? So I couldn't use my phone for at least, I'm not joking, for like 5 days. That was the biggest effect that the house had on me. And a
lot of people might say it's a good thing to not use your phone.
Yeah, which
so
was
much.
great.
Yeah.
But when you're cut away from the outside world and when you suddenly are put into a world that is being that is seeing you and your life and the person you are constantly, so they kind of know you or they think that they know you, and so when they meet you, they come up to you and they're like, I had children coming up to me and crying. I had 80-year-old women in London holding my hand and just crying because I felt like they must have really, people who have lived their life there, who have been maybe shunned and maybe put through some kind of, difficult times with racism or, not being able to stand up for themselves. So I sensed all that in that time, and I can't tell you, it was, I have this dichotomy of emotions at times when I try to explain the emotion that I felt, because you felt bad for them and they also were really so proud about someone who literally stood up for them in a way, and they felt like there was a way to kind of deal with it with dignity. I felt after that, so there was this lady who came up to me and said, after Gandhi ji, if there's any Indian that people know here, know by name, it's Shilpa Shetty.
Whoa.
So for me, that was a really big compliment. Yeah, it was a really scary, unnerving experience as on a human level for me, because I had no idea. So when I met Gordon Brown, he first came up to me and then there was Tony Blair. Every time I'd meet people, they were apologizing to me. They were apologizing to me, and all the Brits were like, we are all not like this. We're all not like this. And that whole British accent, it's terrible what you went through and all of that. I was like, oh, okay. So I felt they felt this huge amount of guilt. And I don't know. I just think that this was my course. I had to do it. And today, if I was asked to go into the Big Brother house, obviously I wouldn't do it. But I did it at that time because I took it up as a challenge. Sure. I wanted, like I said, I was going through a lull. I just needed something.
What do you make of that kind of fame though? I know it's overnight and then everyone knows you.
Yeah.
But it's damn fickle, right? Because even with Big Boss, you don't remember who won last year or the year before. Yeah. Of course, on that night, you're a big star. Yeah. Is that something you faced in Britain as well? Like, I'm sure there was like massive attention right after.
No, there's a lot I did after that as well for like a year and a half, 2, and then after that I got married and I didn't want to do anything, so I was offered EastEnders I had to shift with bag and baggage to the country. Now anywhere that you want to make a base, you have to understand that you have to become, you have to make that country your own, and I wasn't willing to make that shift. I didn't do it for marriage, I wasn't willing to do it for work. So I just let go of all the.
Is that where you met your husband?
Yes.
Okay. How did that happen?
1 month after Big Brother, I met him.
Like at a party or something?
No, he was introduced to me through a common friend because, I launched a perfume. So anybody who becomes famous over there, who's even half a celebrity, becomes, can have a perfume in their name. So, and guess what? The perfume even does well. So he knew the owners of the perfume company, and I had another company that had come to me to do the deal, and Raj offered me triple the money because he I think had a soft spot for me, and I was like, oh, such a cute guy. So so I did the deal, and that's how we met. You can ask me anything. Our life is an open book.
I think that's another thing that's interesting about you, besides, of course, we've discussed films and we've discussed television, is how you also embraced social media, or you embraced YouTube. You are, I think, the first celebrity to actually get on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like, there are YouTube celebrities, but there were no celebrities who were on YouTube, right? Yeah. And I'm presuming you did that with fitness as the first thing? Is that what you took up?
I'll tell you why there are no celebrities on YouTube, because YouTube doesn't make you any money. The people who come onto YouTube, they come onto YouTube to become celebrities. Right. So I'm a little cracked. Yeah. So everybody was like, but why do you need to go onto YouTube? You're already a celebrity, you're already famous, you're already making enough money. Yeah. So why YouTube? So I really think that, and I think I've been the sort of person to always think about what will work in the future. So when people didn't think about making a yoga DVD, I did it. That was 12 years or 13 years ago. I realized after a few years in my marriage, what do I want to do with my life? In what direction do I want to steer it in? Am I just happy being this actress, doing television, putting photographs of mine on Instagram? And even Instagram happened just by chance. My niece, who was 12 at the time, said, Shilpa Mami, you're not cool, you're not on Instagram, and let me start it for you. She started it for me. And I was like, what am I going to do on Instagram? She's like, just put out photographs. And when I started on Instagram, I had some 1,000 people following me. She's like, you're really not that famous. She was very upset. So I said, what do I want to do with this platform? And then I've always looked at health and wellness very seriously. I got into the wellness industry with IOSIS, which is my spa and salon business, back in 2007. So this is something that I believe in. These are things that
this is something you've always believed in, while you were an actor as well.
Exactly. So I was a volleyball player before I became an actress. I represented Bombay Zone, Bombay District. So the emphasis on health, the emphasis on looking after yourself came much before I became an actor. So I think I was the only actress who used to go to the gym, and the hero would be shocked, what is the heroine doing in the gym?
But was the hero in the gym back then? I don't even think that was true, right?
Yeah, with a couple of dumbbells.
Few of them they did?
With a couple of dumbbells. Yeah.
Like besides Sunny Deol?
Or dumbbells. Yeah. So I was always into fitness, but then as I kept reading, and I love to read, I'm a voracious reader. I don't read fiction and stuff like that. I don't like to read stuff that is not going to be of any use to my life. I just feel that all of us have the ability to grasp and keep what we can use. And mine is like this hard disk that just crashes occasionally. So I keep kind of uploading it with a new 2.2 version. So my whole tryst with health and fitness became more of a passion. And I said, especially after my baby, I got a lot of appreciation or maybe compliments for the way I maintained myself, and they were like, how do you do this? And there are a lot of women out there who need help, and a lot of women who lose confidence, who lose kind of focus after having a family. They get so immersed in their life of looking after their family that if they're apologetic about looking after themselves. So I really felt, this is really odd, and nowhere in the world other than India where women feel apologetic about taking care of themselves. Like if they take out that time for themselves. I'm talking about the back of beyond places, not the metros. So So I said, how do I bring about this awareness about food, about how easy it is to lose weight, how easy it is to make a modification, to enjoy health, to enjoy a more qualitative life more than anything else. The shape and body and all that is really, secondary. Primarily, how do I bring awareness to health? Then it started out in a very small way, and I decided to start with, cooking. And I said, let it be free for people. So I actually spend money from my pocket, so much for YouTube. And I shoot videos so that people can get back to home style cooking. So that people can understand that it does not take time to cook in the kitchen. If you really want to give your family, fresh food, because that's what's going to make a big difference to the future generation. To inculcate values of how to eat, when to stop eating, how much to eat, and how to chew food. These things have all suddenly started to fade away, with time. This whole influx of all these junk food joints, aerated drinks, high sugar drinks, high fructose corn syrup in so many of our cereals as well. It just makes me really sad because I've lost a couple of people very close to me, a lot of people that I know in my circle who are suffering with cancer and many immunity disorders. And it only boils down to one thing, our lifestyle and what we are eating. And it is so rampant in this time and age that I felt someone has to make a start. And I think I might get shot someday because I say some really honest things.
Why would you get shot?
Because, these huge conglomerates are...
like that. Okay.
Yeah, they just feel that... See, I think as celebrities, I think we are in a very blessed position that people take us seriously and people hear us. So why not make use of that voice in bringing about awareness in something as important as health? What could be more important than our life? Hi, I'm Shilpa Shetty Kundra, and stay tuned for my special interview with Sunday Midday. Go grab your midday copy now.